Hello, welcome to Woods and Water Outdoors. I'm Patrick Corcoran. Today we're going to tie for you something a little bit different to help us use certain products that may be a little bit different in feathers. When you purchase a 5 to 7 inch saddle hackle, sometimes you get a feather that looks like this right here, and it doesn't really have a tip in it. Like a lot of people cut out. This is a Schlappen, and depending on which end of the string of feathers you get, you may have quite a few of these in your 1/4 ounce package or whatever you've purchased. And we're going to do something with those in a kind of a woolly booger style from fly fishing, and turn it into a crappie jig for us. The colors that we're using black, as you saw, and the other is our light flame saddle hackle. And we're also going to use a pearl Krystal chenille that we're going to use as a core whenever we make this feather. I like using a Minnow Head for my Schlappen jigs. A little bit longer. Leaves a little bit more of the hook shank, or obviously you can put a bigger hook into a 16th ounce round head or whatever size you're wanting to use. Just a personal preference for me. We're going to get started. We're using black flat wax nylon as our thread. We are going to use saddle hackle in the tail, and those will both be black, and the light flame as well. I make these tails a little bit longer, almost like a stinger tail, I guess would be. So stick with our two colors there that we have. Next, we're going to put in our Schlappen feathers, and whenever you tie these in, you really want to flare back a little bit. Just leave that little bit of tip exposed to tie in with, and just tie it down real nice and secure. These feathers are pretty durable. They don't break very easily, and so you don't have to treat them with kid gloves too bad. And so, but every one of these Schlappen feathers can be just a little different than the next one. And so we're going to leave those hang there for a second. And so now we're going to put in our pearl chenille as a core. You could use whatever type of crystal that you want to put in as a core, or if you want a gold core or silver, a combination of different colors. And we're going to use the pearl in this one. You really don't have to wrap this real tight together, because you're just wanting a little bit of flash to be in the center of the body. And so don't have to build that up. And I am going to put a couple, I'm going to finish this just a little bit. Just put a couple there. So sometimes when you just build that string up right there and then you go to whip finish at the end, it pulls down real, and because there's space in between the threading because of all the material that you're stacking up. And so now I'm going to wrap these two different feathers in individually. You can grab them both with your hackle pliers. I'm going to do them individually because I'm going to kind of bumblebee wrap them. So whenever you come across, you want to kind of pull those feathers back. These get longer as you go down the feather, obviously. This is a little more of a time-consuming tie as opposed to just a chenille body. And we'll go 2 or 3 times around right there at the head. And then you're gonna pull your string to secure that feather in. You kind of wiggle it a little bit to get it between the fibers, between the fletching. Couple security wraps, and we're gonna cut that one off. And then we're gonna do the black one. So you run your fingers down the vein to kind of flare that all out. Again, and so now we're going to do our best to go in between and try not to get it all laid down. Just use your fingers to kind of grab feathers as you come through it. And you may like tying them both at the same time. I just wanted to kind of show you what it was going to look like. We get a real nice mottled presentation with the black and the light flame. Mixing in together. This is the part that I always find hard, is finding that stem to cut off. And if something gets pointing in the wrong direction, you can simply just pull them out. They break off real easy. And so now we're going to build a little bit of a collar here. And add a little flash. It's really up to you if you want to just put the flash in with the tail. We're going to kind of create just a little bit of a lateral line here, and we're using black Krystal. And this will see easier when I put it on the other side. I'm just putting one strand. I got it cut a little longer, and I fold it over to get 2. When you first put that in there, make a couple soft wraps so you can kind of adjust where it's at. And then you can fold over that second piece and grab it. Okay. Then we can whip finish off. I'm going to do this twice just because that's a bare thread right there. 3 or 4 per. My Hackle pliers went into my trash can. And then for head cement, I like to use deep penetrating head cement on anything where I have thread showing, because it soaks in to that thread really good, and we'll secure it down. And so but that's our Schlappen. You can kind of see how that Krystal flash sticks out right there down the side. That's how we use that extra feather that if you don't have a use for it, it just kind of gets thrown away, I guess. So I started using it like this. We like our results that when we've put it in the water, and you can combine so many different colors if you want to. Just really really a good way to use your products and not waste them. So give this a shot. It's going to take a little bit of practice. I recently just started doing this when I started dyeing feathers and having these things laying around. Thought, well, let's find a way to put that to use. And so it takes a little longer than a normal jig tie does, but I think you'll like the results, and also the fact that you're able to use more of your product. So everything we use here is available on our website, and if you have any questions, give us a holler and tell us what you think.